What are our natural roles? What are our natural gender roles? The male role is to adapt and survive so that he could win the right to reproduce. The female's role is to find the male who's best at surviving and adapting and reproduce those traits in order to best keep the species going, in order to aid the species in evolving and leveling up. A year was good, y'all. It's your boy with a God. Once again, I'm talking about undoing the mass programming by resorting back to nature, having nature as our foundation while we're doing this reprogramming process. We gotta go by what we know is true and what we know works. So we gotta identify what is one of the issues, the main issue that the mainstream programming is giving us. What is the main lower frequency that we're being thrown? And that is we're being given pride and ego, and also which is leading to a privileged mindset. Pride and ego lead to sensitivity. The privileged mindset is what says like, yo, I deserve more than this because I'm this. Because I'm this, I deserve more. Because I'm this, I deserve this. I'm owed this because of what I am. If you think naturally about nature, nature does not give a fuck what you are. Nature don't care if you're a woman, you're a dog, you're a man, you're a bear. Nature is still gonna ask the same thing. Nature's gonna ask you to work, all right? You gotta work for food, you gotta work to adapt, you gotta work to reproduce, you gotta make shit happen yourself. If you throw a white woman to the woods, you throw a black man into the woods, they both have to do the same thing in order to live. They have to find their own food. They have to find water. They have to either build shelter or find shelter, regardless of what they are. Nature's not gonna be like, oh, so you're a woman? Okay, well, the shelter's right here. It could be a pregnant white woman. It don't matter. Nature does not give a fuck. So nature is unbiased. So if you think like that, you think naturally, it's hard to have pride and ego associated to what color you are, what gender you are, what sexual orientation you are, where on the planet you're born at. In nature, pride and ego does not exist. What exists is respect. Respect does exist. There needs to be a sense of respect between each species. And in nature, there is respect between all species. It's us that we're being programmed to disrespect due to a pride and ego mindset, due to a privileged mindset. So let's go back to nature again, right? What are our natural roles? What are our natural gender roles? The male role is to adapt and survive so that he could win the right to reproduce. The female's role is to find the male who's best at surviving and adapting and reproduce those traits in order to best keep the species going, in order to aid the species in evolving and leveling up. Females of any species have a natural filtration process. That's why females tend to want to mate with the same male. They want to reproduce the best out there, and it's the best at surviving and the best at adapting. Now let's talk about the homosexual avatar, right? The homosexual avatar is the most spiritually balanced avatar. Why? Because male and female avatars are born with the energy of their genders. So male avatars are born with more masculine energy. Female avatars are born with more feminine energy. Now all avatars have an amount of both, but depending on your gender is what you have way more of, right? And depending on what you're sexually attracted to is also what you have. So masculine energy is attracted to feminine energy. Feminine energy attracted to masculine energy. So if you're born masculine, but you're attracted to masculine, that means that you have a good amount of both masculine and feminine energy, which means that spiritually you are balanced. And what are you meant to do with that? You're meant to communicate that to the other avatars, you feel me? You're meant to be a bridge. You're meant to be a bridge. You're right in the middle. As a being that's spiritually in the middle, you're meant to hold out your hands and bridge the gap. The God energy, the universe's energy, It's polarity, it's duality, all right? It's perfect balance. By being born homosexual, that means you are born with balance. The price you pay for that balance is you don't reproduce. That's it. But you're still part of the species and you could aid in reproduction. Homosexual men could aid the heterosexual man in knowing how to best utilize his feminine energy and knowing how to best understand feminine energy by doing what? Showing men how to better communicate and how to better express themselves. That's why you see homosexual men in jobs where they express themselves or where they communicate a lot. Hence, like dancers, right? They have jobs in art or customer service and hospitality. That's where you usually see homosexual men at. Homosexual females, since they tend to have more masculine energy, that means they could teach feminine females how to best utilize their masculine energy. They could best teach them how to be more structured, more disciplined, and more stoic, more enduring. That's why if you see women in masculine jobs like construction and shit like that, it's usually homosexual females. You feel me? Because they have more masculine energy in them. So they gravitate more to more structured jobs, more stoic jobs. You feel me? So there you go. That's the natural role of things. Remember, man's job is to best survive and adapt. A woman's job is to reproduce whatever's best at surviving and adapting. A homosexual's job is to best connect, is to connect the two and to create balance amongst us. Once you have your foundation, once you know your natural role, now you can start adding your own programming to that. But you need to know and understand what is true about you. What by nature are you best at by nature? This is an unbiased talk right here about programming, okay? We need to get rid of this disempowering programming, this anxiety, fear-based programming, this pride and ego-built privilege programming, and get back to what the truth is and understand who the fuck we are, all right? It's your boy, The God. Catch y'all next time. One.